Well. Apparently Phillip Schofield is already being tipped to make a sensational return to broadcasting in 2024, after ITV officially drew a line in the sand over his exit from This Morning, giving him a fresh chance. Blinkerhole suspected that Schofield, who has been branded obsessed with Holly Willoughby, more on that later, would eventually return to his roots following his downfall, and it looks like we may be right. Phillip is being tipped for a job on national radio, with Britain's largest commercial station said to be jostling to bring him in, to woo new listeners from rivals, including BBC Radio 2. Now that the ITV Independent Inquiry report has conveniently cleared bosses of a cover-up and uncovered no further damaging claims about Phillip Schofield's relationship with a young runner on This Morning, he is now free to make a possible comeback bid. Despite claims of a whitewash, industry insiders said that the results of the review open the door to the 61-year-old getting a new big-money deal to return to work next year. But a senior British broadcasting source said a return to TV for Schofield is unlikely, for now. That's not a definite no then. He said, now that a line has been drawn in the sand by ITV over the Schofield saga, attention will move on. Within a period of time there is now a place for Phillip to return, possibly not on TV yet. But there are now a myriad of opportunities for him on commercial radio where he will be offered big money to return to his first love. The Casey's report gives him a fresh chance, but nobody will be surprised at all to see that ITV has found itself in the clear as it tries to save This Morning. Schofield quit This Morning after he admitted to a past relationship with a younger male former colleague, but neither men spoke to Jane Mulcahy Casey. Ms. Mulcahy found that the unnamed runner's promotion from This Morning to Loose Women had nothing to do with Phillip Schofield and claimed that also only one person interviewed had knowledge of the affair, but did not report their knowledge at the time. A tall story, in our opinion. Phillip Schofield started out in local radio in New Zealand as a teenager before joining the BBC, hosting a popular show on Radio 1 while presenting Going Live. It now remains to be seen whether Britain's most popular stations, such as Classic FM, Magic, Virgin, Heart or other giants now swoop. Greatest Hits Radio has also been on a hiring spree, grabbing big names such as Ken Bruce and Simon Mayo to take listeners from BBC Radio 2. But some sources have said Mr. Schofield could soon be back in work. Back in May, it was reported that Phillip Schofield could be offered a multi-million-pound escape from ITV by Channel 5 to present a rival to This Morning. But that was before the scandal surrounding his alleged affair with a young runner really reached fever pitch. But Schofield was also being tipped to return to the BBC then, perhaps to lure listeners back to Radio 2, or even tread the boards again in the West End or a panto run for big money. Brand and culture expert Nick Eade predicted that Channel 5, who wooed Dan Walker from the BBC for £1.5 million a year, will be waiting in the wings to offer Schofield a deal of the same size for a morning TV show. But that prospect didn't materialize. Mr. Eade said, he's a bankable star and still a big name to many, adding that due to his past as a BBC Radio 1 DJ, the BB and commercial broadcasters are bound to want him. He was a very big musical star selling out West End shows like Joseph and Dr. Dolittle. He may consider treading the boards again or touring in a pantomime. He continued, I think that Phillip is a very popular TV presenter who has had many successful years on screen. He still has a lot of fans, and I think that although his relationship on screen may be wavering, he will have lots of other opportunities coming to him. He's a bankable star. His popularity will see him overcome the current hurdles he's facing. He added, another broadcaster may take him on, or he will do radio for a while, as that's lucrative and popular too, and he has a great knowledge of music. And PR master Mark Borkowski said at the time that Holly and Phillip were in a PR battle. He said of Schofield, he's an aging talent. These are rocky times for him, and there is a rift with his TV partner. And Holly Willoughby can do no wrong. Well, that statement didn't age well, did it? Mark continued, he's been dogged by so many negative stories, and actually it doesn't help him that so little is said by his friend Holly. She's staying quiet and allowing it to percolate. So, yet again, another expert implied, even back then, that Holly Willoughby contributed to Schofield's downfall. Interesting. As we mentioned in our previous video, PR and reputation management expert Edward Coram James, from Go Up, believes that former bestie Holly threw Phillip under the bus. Ed had also said that Holly admitting on national TV that she had been left, shaken, troubled, let down and worried amid the scandal didn't help. Yet, Blinkerhole can remember a very strange observation by another of these so-called experts in which they claimed Phillip Schofield was displaying signs of possessiveness towards Holly Willoughby. In May, following Phillip's controversial statement about his relationship with his former This Morning co-star Holly, Dr. Sandra Wheatley, a chartered member of the BPS and social psychologist working as a consultant for Potent, gave her opinion on the emotional statement in an interview. Phillip attempted to address reports of a growing rift between himself and Holly, and in the statement, he claimed, "Holly is my rock," despite news that at that point, the pair barely spoke behind the scenes. Analyzing this part of the statement, Dr. Wheatley explained, "What he is doing here is reaffirming, if you want to put a positive spin on it, that he depends on her. That they have been close historically and that he feels they should continue to be close." However, she went on to suggest, in a way it's kind of like he's possessive of her, if you look at it from a more negative perspective. Dr. Wheatley's odd claim came shortly after Phillip Schofield confessed that the last few weeks haven't been easy for either of us. "I think that pretty much speaks for itself," Dr. Wheatley reasoned. "It explains why the relationship might have floundered a little. All of us who have good friends can relate to this. That in times of difficulty for ourselves when our friends are pulled much more in one direction than another, that's not to say that's a bad thing." Phillip added in the statement, "My family went through a real ordeal. And Holly's support throughout meant the world to me, as did the support of my bosses at ITV, my editor Martin Frizzell and the whole This Morning family, including our amazing viewers." A source at the time branded the statement a desperate move by Phillip, as rumors grew that Holly was thinking of moving on from him. "This is desperate stuff from Phil. He knows the relationship has been strained," the source said. "We suppose when you look at it like that, the gushing tributes from Phillip Schofield back then about Holly Willoughby do sound rather strange." Please like and subscribe for more journeys through the Blinkerhole. For entertainment purposes only. Keep up to date with our latest investigations and hit the join button. If you like what we do, send us a super thanks. Official Blinkerhole merchandise is available in store.